All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to talk about something that so many of us struggle with, that feeling, that deep down fear of actually speaking English. We're going to break down why it happens, and more importantly, how you can push right through it. So, let's do this.
You know the moment, right? It's your turn to say something, and bam! Your heart starts pounding, your palms get sweaty, and all those words you spent hours learning, poof, they just disappear. Your mind is just a total blank. It's a real physical feeling, isn't it?
Well, if any of that sounds familiar, I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are so not alone. Seriously, this is something that millions of learners just like you feel every single day all around the world.
Okay, so let's actually dig into this feeling. In this first part, we're going to really get to the bottom of that all too familiar fear and figure out, where on earth it comes from.
What's so wild is that you can have years of study under your belt. You know the grammar, you know the vocabulary, but the fear is still there. And that really shows us something huge. Knowing English and speaking English are two completely different ballgames.
And that leads us right to, well, those voices in our heads. Let's pull the mask off that inner critic, the real source of all the little fears that keep our mouths shut.
First up, the big one, the fear of making a mistake. It's this crazy pressure we put on ourselves to have perfect grammar, the perfect word, the perfect accent, all at the same time. It's that chase for perfection that freezes us before we even start. And this is what that critic whispers, right? What if I use the wrong word? What if I sound stupid? That one little question can be a total conversation killer.
And of course, right behind the fear of mistakes is its best friend, the fear of being judged. It feels like everyone's just watching, waiting for you to mess up. We get so caught up worrying about what they might be thinking that we forget to just, communicate.
This one is so common and it hits hard. We worry that our accent makes us sound, less than. But let's flip that idea on its head right now. An accent is just proof that you know another language. It's not a weakness, it's part of your story.
So all these fears, what do? They just chip away at our confidence, little by little. And it gets even worse when we start playing the comparison game, looking at fluent speakers and thinking we'll just never measure up.
And that's the thought that really stops us in our tracks. I'll never sound like that. But here's the secret. Every single person you admire who speaks English fluently, they were a beginner once too. For sure. They felt these exact same things.
Okay, so we've met our inner critic. But what gives it so much power? In this next part, we're going to look at the hidden traps that keep that fear going and keep us quiet.
This right here, this explains so much. We think of English as book knowledge, something we study, but speaking is a skill. It's like you can't learn to ride a bike by reading a book about it. You have to actually get on the bike and probably fall a few times. Speaking is exactly the same.
Our past experiences can also set these traps. Maybe you remember being laughed at in class or having a teacher who pointed out every single tiny error you made. Those moments can stick with us and create a fear that lasts for years.
And then there's this one, the mental translation trap. It's exhausting. You think of the sentence in your own language, then you try to translate it perfectly, then you double-check the grammar, and by the time you're ready to speak, the conversation has moved on. It just makes you feel slow and stressed out.
Okay, enough about the problem. We get it. Now for the really important part, the solution. Let's start building your personal toolkit for confidence.
All right, here's your game plan. First, we have to change our mindset. Start seeing mistakes not as failures, but as lessons. They show you where you need to grow. Second, make it a habit. Practice every day, even if it's just talking to yourself for 5 minutes. Third, try shadowing. Listen to a native speaker and just repeat what they say. It helps you get the rhythm and flow of the language. And finally, this one is huge. Be kind to yourself. This takes time. It's a journey, not a race.
Now, to make this all work, we have to get really honest about our goal. So let me ask you, what does the word fluency actually mean? Does it mean being perfect?
No way. Let's redefine that right here. Forget perfect. True fluency is just about getting your point across. It's about being able to share your thoughts and ideas with confidence. That's it. That's the real goal, and it's so much less scary, right?
So with that new, much healthier goal in mind, let's look ahead. Because your journey to speaking with confidence, it literally starts right now. From this moment forward, I want this to be your mantra. Every single word you manage to say out loud is a win. It's progress. It's another brick in the wall of your confidence.
And think about it this way. That fear you feel, you can actually use it. Every time you open your mouth and speak, despite the fear, you're building a muscle. You're building courage. The fear itself can become the very thing that makes you stronger.
So when we boil it all down, what's the one thing you need to remember? It's this. Don't wait until you feel ready. Your entire journey, everything you want to achieve, can begin with just one single brave sentence. So my challenge to you is, what's your sentence going to be today? Because that's where it all begins.